Welcome to Diversity Conversations, where we engage in thought-provoking dialogue to identify leadership solutions to today's most challenging conflicts. Stream live each week, Saturday 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Hosted by Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Strategist and CEOs Eric Ellis and Tommie Lewis. Join us and add your voice to this engaging diversity conversation.
Good morning, Greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, the United States, and the world. My name is Eric Ellis, and I'm the President and CEO of Integrity Development Corporation. And I'm joined this morning by my good friend and brother,
Tommie Lewis, President and CEO of Make It Plain Consulting. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, T. What's going on, man?
Hey, as you can see, Eric, community, I am in my mobile office, my mobile studio, right? For some of you, you see it as a car, right? So I'm in my car. I have a great opportunity this morning to speak for the Chatfield Edge. And the Chatfield Edge would like to invite anyone and everyone to visit the website, phenomenal organization, chatfieldedge.org, where we provide wraparound services in the tune of scholarships, mentorship, etc., to college students. These could be first generation college students or folks who are returning to school after being out of high school for 30, maybe 40 years. And so I had the opportunity this morning to be on site here, but didn't want to miss the show.
Excellent, Tommie, man. Well, the people are in for a treat this morning. Our prayers will be with you. Our thoughts will be with you. Excited about what you're going to deliver. What's your topic today?
It's around hope, Eric. Hope. The stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod, felt in days when hope unborn had died.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of the Black National Anthem. And I believe, and many other people believe, that hope has not died. In fact, we're sending 4 people around the moon, returning back safely. We have folks who are been downtrodden for a period of time, but I believe that those times are simply seasons. And so I'll be talking about the season of hope, that whatever our energy is right now, be it bad or okay, that there are better times and better days coming. Just keep the faith, as the sisters of Ursuline have often said over the last 200 plus years. And so hope is still alive.
Well, I tell you, this is a powerful convergence of things this morning that are seeking to send the same message. Tommie and I, our topic today will be experiencing joy now. And Tommie, I was saying I wanted to open up with a song that I hope will encourage our community. And, it's in line with what you're going to be speaking about today. This is a song by Zaccardi Cortez called Work It Out For Me.
Work it out for me. All the things I can't see. Lord, I will trust you and believe, because I know you will work it out for me. Open up the door. Please speak a word of life, Lord. Show me what you have. Oh, Jesus, I need you to work it out. Work it out for me. Work it out for me. All the things I can't see. Trust you really. Oh, Lord, I need you to work it out. Work it out for me. Work. Come on, man. That's my part right there. Right. Work it out for me. Work it out for me. Please, Jesus, work it out for me. Okay.
All right, all right, all right. That song has been powerful inspiration for me. I've listened to it sometimes 10, 15 times in a row, in tears because of my confidence. Number one, because of our need for God to work things out for us. But secondly, Tommie, my confidence that that will happen, is happening. And so, I'm grateful for our partnership. How was your week this week, Tom?
Yeah, Eric, it was a blessed week, as all weeks are blessed. But I have, with this week, I really relinquished a lot of my worry, a lot of my discomfort, a lot of my uncertainty. I relinquished this to the Most High,
Mm,
and I obeyed when I was instructed what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. And so this week, had a number of conversations with folks that were unexpected, that I
mm,
simply listened. I did not pass judgment on the comments. I did not pass judgment on the person. I didn't even pass judgment on how I should think and respond. I
mhm,
was just present with the person.
mm,
And that was at the beginning of the week. And near the end of the week, last week, Eric, uh, had two, maybe three conversations with former clients who reached out to say, hey, we would like to continue the partnership
mhm.
that we had from 5 and 6 and 7 years ago.
Wow.
And some of the work that you did then, we were moving in the right direction. New leadership came on board, kind of stopped the progress. And we've learned that uh, the work that you were doing and making it plain was of benefit and value. And we want to revisit this to move on, not
Mhm.
revisit what was done in the past, but
Right.
implement the recommendations moving forward. And I thought and felt so empowered because me personally, I like to see things come into fruition
Mhm.
and even close things out at times. And so when we were separated from the relationship, then I was like, "Dang, gun it, right? The work
Right.
is still not complete."
Right.
Thank goodness that God says, "Well, I'm going to speak to the new people in place,
Mhm.
allow them to see that it's not complete, and have other people recommend Make It Plain Consulting and
Mm,
Tommie Lewis."
mhm.
I want to repeat that. Other people that I had worked with had met with the folks that I'm talking with now,
Right.
say, hey, you may want to consider them. I am very humbled, Eric, this past week, that when we do good work, good
Mhm.
people recognize it. And
Right.
so it was a week of hope. It was a week of relinquishing worry and concern and
Mm,
leaning into the true essence of what God has planned for all of us on this earth.
right. Tommy, I love that. I love that because it speaks so powerfully to the fact that we're not in this on our own. We don't have to make it by ourselves. That there are some things that when we turn over worry and we no longer embrace that, we embrace our faith, our confidence in the Almighty, and in the work that we've done, in the record that we've established.
Mhm.
You have a record in this world, and when you've established a good name and a good record, sometimes it's finding you without you even recognizing that people are out there having conversations about you.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't have to be the chasers. We can actually be chased down or discovered. And so that's a powerful thing. This week, I had a chance to do some coaching and feedback sessions with people with a client that we had them go through some 360s. A lot of people were super nervous about that, Tommy. Not everybody loves feedback, but certainly everybody needs feedback. And it was so powerful to see so many of these leaders get really positive feedback from people rating their behaviors. And it was almost like they had never Some of them, they had never heard things like that, and they were just looked like almost embarrassed, but thrilled at the same time. People are used to just criticism. And sometimes when people do good work and it's recognized, that's a powerful thing. And I was glad to be the one there delivering that, because I think that we have to get people rehearsed, Tommie, and not just seeing feedback as a negative experience. It's a beautiful thing when feedback can be powerfully encouraging and then sprinkled in some constructive things that we can work on. I think if people receive that, then maybe it will increase their willingness to be open to that.
I agree, Eric. I agree. Could you explain a little bit more about what a 360 is?
Thanks for the question. So a 360 is a tool that is used in organizations where they really are, especially looking at leadership development. What we know is that people don't leave bad companies, they leave bad managers. Gallup just came out with a study that said that for the first time in the history of our country, more people are struggling, Tommie, than thriving. So 49% of employees are struggling and 46% are thriving, see themselves as thriving. So if we have people that are struggling because of the things that they're dealing with in the world, the pressures, economic pressures, family pressures, then we hope that we have leaders that are prepared to signal something positive and not add on to the mountain of things that cause people to struggle. So some of our clients have decided to engage in 360 feedback processes so leaders can get feedback from their peers. 360 means all around you. So your peers, your boss or supervisor, and your direct reports. And then we chose to ask 11 questions. 5 of them are the 5 essential skills. These were gaps that employees had identified through morale surveys and inclusion surveys. They said, number 1, that our supervisors don't listen to us very well. Number 2, they don't seek out our perspective when they are making changes that impact us. Number 3, we don't feel a sense of psychological safety and ability to push back against the status quo. Number 4, employees were saying that we lack that sense of belonging. 10 years ago, we used to go to Kings Island or different places, and now we don't do the family picnics and company, cookouts and things like that. And then finally, the 5th thing that they said was that there was a lack of inclusion, that there was too much favoritism that was leading the way. So for the last 7 years, we have been working on training, coaching, working on leaders and employees around those 5 essential skills. And so we evaluated those, and we had people weigh in on what am I seeing in terms of the behaviors of this leader? Are they demonstrating those behaviors rarely? 1, sometimes 2, consistently 3. And so although we want everybody to get 3s on everything, sometimes it's not a bad score. If we're doing it sometimes, then it's like, okay, when am I doing it? When am I not doing it? If I'm not doing it in situations that I need to be delivering that skill or competency, then that's the thing that I'm concerned about. And then we added a sort of 4 traits, behaviors that the most effective leaders are demonstrating. So that made 5 plus 4, 9. And then we asked them to identify their greatest strengths and their greatest opportunities. And so it was really, Tommie, a powerful process that people were going through. Some of them were in tears because they were hearing some things that they didn't see in themselves. And so when you see yourself as a 3 and everybody else sees you as a 1 or 1, man, that's a big gap. And what that often means, Tommie, is that it may be difficult for you to even receive that feedback because there's such a blind spot around what you see in yourself. My concern in organizations, Tommie, is that we don't create enough opportunities where managers have to get feedback from the people they supervise. It's almost like feedback only goes one way. We give it to those that are below us or those that we manage and supervise. And we are exempt from having to hear their authentic voice. And I think that's a problem. And then secondly, that sometimes if they are given a microphone to speak, then there sometimes can be retaliation. And so we have to do everything we can to protect the employees and make sure that they, in telling the truth, that doesn't cost them.
Yeah, Eric, I think that the 360 feedback process is a phenomenal process for a couple, maybe three reasons. One, that as you mentioned before, it is asking for feedback from a manager or supervisor, several peers, and maybe direct reports. So that's the full circle. In some instances, a 360 also includes feedback from those who are not in the organization.
Yeah,
And
excellent.
that's critical because it speaks to certain human integrity characteristics. So some people act and behave one way at work, but then in their personal lives, they may act and behave a different way. And so when, as part of the 360 feedback, when there is that external non-work related viewpoint, it really creates a even more 360. So that's value. Second, that the 360 instrument, when we're asking people to share input or evaluate the person that's being evaluated, it is subjective, right? However, because it's more than one person
Right.
subjectively evaluating the person, then you get a more rounded, full rounded perspective. So if it was one person, I could say, well, I just simply don't like Eric Ellis, right? And then mark 1, 1, 1, 1 down the pole. But when there are 5, 7, 9 people evaluating, then you can come to a consensus of, okay, you're kind of below average or above average. You're 1 across the board, 2 or 3, right? For example. The third is that the 360 feedback can, and if it's used well, it can inform the feed forward, right? So feedback is past experiences, etc.
Right.
Feed forward is, what are the expectations going forward? Expectations of leadership, expectations of speech, expectations of behavior, and more importantly, the expectations of mindset. What am I thinking? Because oftentimes, you know this, Eric, that those who are going through the 360 process, they have a thought in their mind already about the process.
Yeah.
And they either think thumbs up, I like the process, or thumbs down, I don't like the process.
Right.
And if it's thumbs down, in the process, in their mindset, that they may attach the process to some other thought that they have.
Absolutely.
Right? That's what they'll do. So I would like to encourage everyone in the range of our voices to consider, internal to your organization, internal to your own personal or professional development, to consider a 360 feedback process, right? And something that Eric Ellis in Integrity Development does very, very well.
Thank you, Tommie. I appreciate that. And the other thing that I believe, Tommie, is I study the criticisms of organizations around assessments. And honestly, Tommie, the track record's not good. Too often, organizations, if they're not careful, they can use these tools that are established for development and use them almost in a witch hunt kind of fashion. I know that because we know that people don't leave bad companies, they leave bad managers, that sometimes companies are trying to get evidence so that they can let people go. And they may mistakenly use a 360 tool to do that. I don't subscribe to that. I think that the 360 has to be a developmental tool. Therefore, I believe that the data in some ways has to be owned by the person, and that you should not be necessarily giving that to everybody else in the organization on them. I believe that if you use it in the proper way, it can be seen as helpful feedback to inform them for feed forward actions. I love your word there. But if it's used in a sort of punitive way, then you have a situation where both people don't want to participate in the process, both the leaders, but also the raters, because they don't want to be subject to saying something negative that may have a negative impact on that leader and then sort of the retaliation that may occur for them. So
I think this is great, Eric. I use the 360 for myself as well. I truly do. So I do get input on myself as a leader, as our company, as a consultancy. We get that input from our clients and our partners.
Right.
I also ask, because I'm the CEO of the organization, I ask my managers, folks that are reporting to me, folks that have their own respective roles. I ask from them their input on me. I do. I've always done that. And oftentimes it's not as formal as, hey, we're starting this 1 month 360 feedback process. It's not that. It may be a conversation, and then a second or third conversation that I ask, how am I doing, or how better might I have been to help you or to support, etc. I do that all the time. And I say that, Eric, because with entrepreneurs, with small and medium-sized companies, those who have 10 employees, less than 50, maybe even less than 100 employees, one might think that, no, the 360 feedback is for those large companies.
Right.
That my company only has 5 employees or 10 employees. I don't need to ask anyone else about feedback on me.
Right.
I would push back and say, how might you benefit by knowing something better about yourself or your business?
Right.
And that's where, in fact, the talk that I'm giving this morning in the next few minutes, it's around the hope. And the hope is, what might we consider to be better? And what might we do? So wherever you are right now, it could be, woe is me, or things are not going the way I planned, or I did get some earlier feedback that I'm still working through. Or maybe the feedback is formal or even informal from loved ones, significant others, friends. That, okay, did you receive? Thank you, Lydia. Did you receive that feedback? And are you then implementing that feed forward action step? We absolutely want to look to, how do we better our best?
I love that, Tommie. And I would say to people that are in small organizations, you can't establish feedback processes and then sit back. It's like, okay, give it to me. I mean, you've got to actually do some things to encourage people that you, in fact, are interested. And Tommie, what I recommend is you start by identifying shortcomings, flaws, areas that that you've made mistakes in. Because as you demonstrate that you are aware of some of your own shortfalls, and then invite people to build on that in terms of not just weaknesses and gaps, but also strengths, that you have as well. But people are never going to give you the gaps if you don't demonstrate that you're open to that. I've even said it, Tommie, myself as a CEO, that I make a judgment around whether I believe people are genuinely interested in honest feedback. And if they're not, then I don't really lean into that because that's not going to be to my advantage, and it's not going to be helpful to them if they don't have any ability at all to see themselves. So,
yeah, Eric. And
are you bowing out on us here shortly?
Yeah. I'm going to have the transition here now. I'll just leave us with 2 things. I do want to invite our community to like and subscribe. That's very helpful for us to stay on your radar and for us to stay with you. So it's not just we're saying like and subscribe. There's an algorithm that these platforms really lean to bring value. Now, with that being said, we're always here. Eric and I are always here. We're going to always have this conversation. Regretfully, I do have to transition to speak to a beautiful crowd of about 1,500 people.
Okay.
Where I'll be speaking with them around hope, and that hope unborn has not died.
Right.
Let's keep hope alive, in the words of our late Reverend Jesse Jackson. keep hope alive, and continue to pray. Pray for those who need prayer and say, I need it.
Mm-hmm.
Pray for those who need prayer and haven't raised their hand. And pray for humanity.
That's good.
We are and we will be better than how we're showing up today.
I love
because
that.
tomorrow will bring our better and best versions of us. So I wanted to just encourage our community, Eric, you, me, our producer, Lydia, and our community to say, continue to pray for everyone, including ourselves.
That's
But
right.
thank you. Sorry I have to leave, Eric. Enjoy the show and the community.
Tommie, I've got a 4:30 tea time just in case anything opens up for you.
Okay. All right.
All right. Bye now. There goes Tommie Lewis, our co-host. He's out on location speaking to an audience of 1,500 people about hope. And so today, for the balance of our time, you have me as your host. And the topic, again, is experience joy now. And so the reason why I think that's so important is because I believe that we are overwhelmed with pessimism and pessimistic statements. I believe that in many ways you're seeing right now, many of the social media companies are being sued and they are losing those battles with families that have seen the negative impact that Twitter, TikTok, that Facebook, that all these sites have had on their children because these algorithms are constantly sort of keeping people trapped in these systems that they can't break away from. And they're being victimized with negativity, negative comments. They're looking at AI built lives. They're looking at people's doing their best life. And in many ways, they're seeing themselves, they're receiving criticism from friends and strangers alike. And I would say to you that in many ways, it's almost like if there isn't a law to ban it, then people will do whatever they can to keep our attention. And one of the best ways, and one of the easiest ways to keep our attention is by showing us negativity. And the house, the city, the world's got to be on fire all the time if you're trying to keep an audience. So in many ways, I would say to you that we're being stressed out every day, almost just on repeat, just on a loop. And what we have to do is we have to find our own way to experience joy now. I would even say to you that in many ways, I believe that our president may be masking a hole that exists in his heart. And, when you believe that you are the most powerful man on earth, you are able to get all the wealth that one individual can get, houses everywhere, your name on everything. And yet there may be a hole that's a reflection of things that have happened in your life in the past that you're not happy about. And so sometimes all of us can find ourselves trying to fill the holes that exist in our lives with things. And so I can tell you that our desires are insatiable. In other words, we can never fill the hole that we have in our lives with things, whatever our bad habit might be, shopping, gambling, smoking, drinking, getting high. None of those things can take away that uneasiness and unhappiness that may exist in our minds, in our lives, because of all the messaging that we're up against. And so I believe that this simple message of experience joy now is one that you should lean into. And community, I'm going to ask you to weigh in. I'm going to try to provide for you some tips for things that you can do to try to experience joy now. For me, I know that this is a tough economy that we're in. Just a week ago, there was a gentleman down the street that has a car repair shop that was doing cold calls. I was kind of blown away that an owner of a repair shop would have to be on the phone calling up old customers trying to drum up business, but that's where we are. For me, what I realize is that you cannot fixate on things that you can't do much about right now. I believe that in all of our lives, if you're not careful, it's almost like you're walking down the street and there are Goliaths that are standing up and looking over us. Each of us has a Goliath in our life, whether that's finances, whether that's family challenges, whether that's bill collectors, whether that's too much work to do that you can't keep up with. There are Goliaths that exist in our lives. I wouldn't suggest just simply ignoring them, but sometimes we cannot just sort of have direct eye contact and stare at each one of the Goliaths in our life. Sometimes we have to sit back and say, I'm not just going to look at the things that are hard and difficult. Sometimes I have to focus on the things that give me joy, the things that I love about life. You have to be, and so I'm going to give you 7 things that I think that you can specifically do. Number 1, be fully present. Joy often gets missed when our mind is trapped in yesterday or worried about tomorrow. Slow down and notice what is good, meaningful, and beautiful right now. And so I'm just doing a lot of things around the house. And so yesterday I was just power washing the back porch and the side porch. And I was putting down topsoil and then putting grass seed down on that. And I was really feeling good about just being able to clean things up. And I was putting down some marble rock on the side of the house. And I stepped over something that looked fuzzy in the ground. I didn't know it was a nest. And so a little bunny rabbit sort of jumped out of it and just was hopping around all over the place. And that was something that just gave me joy out of nowhere. Number 2, I would say to you that healing happens when we stop living everywhere except now. We cannot change yesterday. We cannot control everything about tomorrow, but we can choose peace, purpose, and the joy that exists in this moment. I'm reading the devotional, The Jesus Calling. And in this book, the author helps us to recognize the scripture that talks about why worry about tomorrow when you can't change one thing about tomorrow? The past has already occurred. And so there's nothing that we can do about that. Healing happens when we stop living everywhere but now. When you start living in the now, I think that you can then just enjoy the fact that the sun is up as I see it shining in over here. That's a beautiful thing. As I am here with you all, our beautiful community, I'm excited about that. I'm grateful about that. I just met with a young person this week, and we were just sitting here talking about the now. And it's just, there's so much powerful and precious about the moments that we're living in. And I would say to you, as you begin to experience the now, you almost can feel the healing that happens in your body because you freed up some brain space that was being occupied by worry about tomorrow or what happened yesterday or things that I'm up against. And you've got to know that if you just ignore those things for the moment, just let them go and enjoy where you are right now and the things that you can be grateful for, then even physical healing can happen within your body. Because the need to control everything, because we have a need to feel like we're controlling everything, sometimes we try to manage what's beyond us. Joy increases for us when we begin to trust, when we begin to breathe and let go of the things that we can't change. I love that. When you embrace joy, you release the things that you can't change. joy often multiplies when we are in community. So this last week, honestly, I've joined the church, Christ Emmanuel Christian Fellowship. I love the pastor, Pastor David Goins. I call him Little David. I've known him since he was a kid. He's a powerful preacher, powerful pastor. His wife, Lady Angel, they're working at this ministry that Bishop Dantley and his wife started, some 50 years ago or so. And I'm watching David Goins be a phenomenal leader. And so he has a men's fellowship that meets the first Monday of each month. And honestly, I'm just going to tell you all the truth that I'm not really trying to just attend a lot of things. At this point, I'm enjoying the ride. Sometimes I'm just chilling. I'm just at home watching ball games. But I've been so inspired by him that I decided to go again last Monday. And the power of being in fellowship with other men was really amazing. There were men there that were sharing things like one brother said that his son and his daughter-in-law had called him and said that their little child was at the point of maybe dying, and that the doctors said there was nothing much that they could do. And so literally he said that he and his wife jumped in the car and they drove for 12 hours to Alabama. They didn't stop to get anything to eat. They may have stopped one time to get gas. They just drove the entire way nonstop praying. When they got there to the hospital, the first person that was trying to greet them was the chaplain. They said, no, get out of the way, chaplain. We got business here. And they went in the room, and I think they may have even said that the child had passed. And he said that they literally laid hands. He said, my wife even pushed me out the way. And she started praying over that baby and started praying over that baby. And then he stopped. And he went on, and we were all like, hey, bro, hey, what happened? And we didn't even ask the question, but that's what was in our minds. And then he said, yesterday I got a call from my son, and in the background, I heard my 3-month-old grandchild. Huh? The baby lived. Wow. And so just because we were in community and it was one person after another that was being transparent, that was telling stories about how God is impacting their lives, or they were talking about the struggles that they have gone through and asked for advice. And so it was really a powerful thing to find ourselves in community with others who have common beliefs or they're in different places. And so the message that I'm sharing with you today is experience joy now. Choose connections over isolation. That's a similar point here. A conversation, a kind word, a shared laugh, or simply being with people who matter can awaken joy quickly. Joy often multiplies again in community. Celebrate small blessings and small wins because sometimes we may not get the big win, but a small win is something that we can celebrate. Not every joyful moment has to be big. Some of them can be small, a quiet morning, a breakthrough, a smile, a prayer answered, a moment of peace can all be reasons to rejoice. And so I take that literally. Sometimes I get up like I did this morning and I was just vacuuming and I was cleaning off the mirrors because we're trying to sell our house. And I was cleaning off the shower glass with Windex and, just putting that cloth against that glass and seeing all the little smudges go away. It's a little win, but something that I'm grateful for. Like I said, being out in the yard, I was taking pictures that we are adding to the website of our home that we built 33 years ago that looks beautiful today. Just small moments of joy. And I want to say to you all, I was playing some music that I've got a music project out called My Sound. And I was playing some of that music for someone yesterday. And as I was playing it for them, I was just grateful that God had allowed me to do something that I love, and that's to make music that I can share with the world. And honestly, I don't really think about the what all can we do with the music. Sometimes I'm just, and I tell my children that when God has given you a gift, sometimes you have to become your own fan. You have to be your own first fan. And so I'll just be in the studio, I'll write a song, and then I'll just listen to it over and over and over again. And I don't really think I mean, I've had songs that nobody in the world will maybe ever hear, but I'm just grateful that God gave me a gift that I can express, and it can bring joy to me, just me, God, and the gift is something that I can be grateful for. And I would say to you, community, that you have to take inventory on the things in your life, the gifts, the talents, the things that make you who you are, and you have to celebrate that. You cannot allow any messaging out here to not allow you to be grateful for what God has created inside of you. I was talking to my friend Terry Cooley out in California. My kids call him Uncle T. Tommie and I call him T Cooley. But I was talking to him yesterday, and that conversation, man, we're just sitting there and we're going down memory lane and talking about things that he's done and things that have happened in his life. And I just realized what a blessing it was just to be there with my friend who I've loved for almost all my life. And we're just telling stories and having a good time. You see, that's free. Telling stories and laughing, that's free. That doesn't cost us anything. And I would say that if we're not careful, we're living in a world today where we're just isolated. We're in our homes, we're on our social media sites, and that's not, that's not really the kind of engagement and interactions that have the greatest impact on us. And so I want to encourage you to get out there and make sure that you're connecting with others. Let's look at this. Serve or encourage someone else. I've said to you all here that I felt like God was saying to me, Eric, your answers aren't in Washington. They're not with Democrats or Republicans. They're not with conservatives or liberals. They're with your network. And so I have really tapped my network to help me grow our business. But what I've discovered is something that was unanticipated, that I would find people that were isolated, that were lonely, that were in battles, sometimes with the government, where they were fighting battles that they may not be able to win. And I was able to encourage them to walk away from that. And, and so being able to encourage others is a blessing. And it gives something back to you to be able to encourage others. And so that's what I want to share with you, is to make sure that you're thinking about people that may need to hear from you, and that you sometimes call some of them up out of the blue just to say, I wanted to check in and see how you're doing. I finally caught up with a friend of mine a few days ago, and that friend had, I called him a couple of times, they hadn't gotten back. And they were so embarrassed that they hadn't gotten back to me. I said, hey, don't even think about that at all. See, I'm not one of those people that thinks badly of you if somehow I called you a couple times and I haven't heard back from you. Here's what I've done. Sometimes people have called me, left a message, and I've said to myself, oh, I'm so glad that they called me. I love them. And then I forget to call them back. And it's not that I'm too good to call them back or they're not important to me. It's just that my ADHD brain doesn't always recall those things in the next moment because my mind, like a squirrel, has been distracted and I may forget that. But I told them and was grateful to say to them that no, nothing ever, I don't change our status unless you do. In other words, if you tell me that we aren't friends, then then maybe we aren't friends. But until then, I'm going to assume that everything that we've ever had, everything we've ever thought about each other is still intact. And so I'd say give people grace and also reach out to others and encourage someone. Remember that this moment is a gift and that tomorrow is not promised. And yesterday cannot be revived. Joy becomes possible when we treat today, this hour, and this breath as something sacred. And so that's what I want to share with you as well, community, is that here we are, you and me, in this moment. And I'm so glad that you're on the other side of this conversation. You see, sometimes pain and frustration and anxiety feel like they're the only things that are real. But I'm here to tell you that I am ascending to another level of understanding. And that level means that I can truly take a look at where my life is right now and all the blessings that exist inside of my life that I simply take for granted. Each day that I'm in a house with the roof over my head, each day I get to walk through my house and sometimes see my son and my nephew, who enjoy being around me. I'm grateful for that. And so I want to encourage you to make sure that you're not missing the power of each moment that we're in right now. That when I leave here after this podcast is over, I get a chance to go out in my car and maybe pull back the sunroof and experience the joy of today. It's probably going to be 75 degrees out or 80 degrees maybe today. And I get a chance to just simply drive around. And if I make a good decision, I may even just throw on some jazz music and just enjoy the ride, because life is filled with special gifts. What I'm going to do right now is, since it's just me and you all, I am going to play some music for you because I love music, and I might be able to talk to you about some of the songs that I've written that have meaningful messages that may be a blessing to you, because it is, a blessing to me. Let me see if I can pull this up. Okay. I'll play a song, Ready to Love. I like this song, and I'll just play it for you. I'll be right back. You listen.
Know that it's time. Words that we say aren't enough. Hollow promises won't end this nonsense. We must be ready to love. Ready to love. Ready to love. Ready to love. The world, what you give, way you live. Ready, ready, ready. Life is a gift we didn't earn, so each day is a blessing. Put on a smile, let your light shine. There's a feeling that's so alive. When you're ready for love, ready to love, ready to love the world, help you get
Just me and y'all and music. I'm gonna put my sunglasses back on. Feel like a real artist. Love this song. Ready to love.
Ready to love, ready to love. Dreams starting to fade. Gotta be ready to love, to love, to love. Feels the day. Gotta be ready to love. Hope it's slipping right to love. Out of the grave, ready to love. You ready to love.
And so I wrote that song when the war in the Middle East was really just raging between Israel and Hamas. And I just felt like we needed a message around love. Another song that I wrote was really a tribute almost to my father. My father was a dreamer. And I remember all my life, what my father would say is that my ship is about to come in. And I believed him. And he died before his ship fully came in. But I believe that we all should be dreamers. And so you can experience joy now if you have a dream about something that can and will potentially happen for you in the future. The dreams themselves are powerful today, whether they are realized or not. I think that it's just a powerful thing to have a dream. So let's look at this. Fun song here. Now I'm about to have a party all by myself in here. Tommie's gone. He's on site encouraging young people. You keep telling me wait for a change. But time keeps passing away.
I keep hoping my ship's moving closer.
All I see is wait.
All I see is the way. No. I can feel the moments right now. We've been playing too long. In overtime. Overtime. Never give up till I cross the line. Keep on dreaming.
The name of the project is My Sound.
Life is all about grace. I'm scared. Life is all about grace. Shots we take, we never miss. Everybody's got to have a dream. Be a dreamer.
Here's my verse. Now I like this one. When you think about my life, paint the future bright. If you're gonna bet, place it all on me. Because I don't stand alone. And I'm not afraid. I've got big dreams in my mind. Yeah.
Imagine all the things that you can be. Like you can down. Anywhere you go, get it, go get it. All along to me. It's all about grace.
Be a dreamer.
Everybody's got to have a dream. Be a dreamer. Be a dreamer. Never stop dreaming. It's all about dream. All about dream.
I love that song. And so I'm here playing music, my original music for you. Most of my songs have never been heard by almost anybody, but they were a part of what God has placed inside of me. And so I have a project out called My Sound by Eric Ellis. And so I'm going to play a few songs that I hope encourage you to experience joy now. Music brings joy to me. When I hear music, whether it's mine or anybody's, I get a huge smile on my face because I love music. This next song is called Miracles. I know that some of you out there may be in need of a miracle right now. I remember years ago when in the 90s when we lost a big contract and so we didn't have any money coming in, and I was a young family, young kids, and all of a sudden I needed a miracle, and I got a check from the U.S. Treasury for almost $4,000. And so I called them up because I had never gotten any money from the U.S. Treasury ever before. I'd never done any work with them. So I called them up to ask them, hey, my name is Eric Ellis. I just got this check. Okay, Eric, what was it for? Well, it was $3,800. And yep, Eric Ellis, Westchester. Yep, that's your check. Okay, thanks. And I didn't call back ever again. And I got 3 more checks like that in the mail. And I'll tell you that I considered that as a miracle. And so whatever is happening in your life right now, everything might not be able to line up. Sometimes you might not be able to do everything you need to make things better for yourself. Maybe you're in need of a miracle. Maybe that miracle was tuning in to Diversity Conversations this morning. But I want to share this song with you, and I hope that it encourages you.
All my plans are on delay. Down on my knees, I'm praying. And the walls are closing in. You bring miracles, 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 yeah, miracles, because of who you are. Oh. Miracle, 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 because of who you are, you are the one. Hold my hand and I won't break.
Hold my hand and I won't break.
I won't break. Lets me know that I'm not by myself. Yeah. Everywhere I go, ain't nothing but locked doors.
Sometimes it feels like you run into nothing but locked doors. When I see a single footprint in the sand.
Feel the moment my money under you are there with miracles. When I cry on this anybody out there, out there, yeah. And I thank you for bringing miracles. That's what you do for me. Miracles. Miracles. Because of who you are. Miracle. You have the inside miracle. Yeah. As I'm looking around, I need a miracle. Yeah, yeah. Faith is gone. Miracle. Yeah. That's what I'm waiting for.
If you need a miracle, I'm telling you, it's on its way to you today. Experience joy right now. The other thing I believe is that consistent with experience joy now is a recognition that this is our time. I would say to you, especially those of you that might work in the business that Tommie and I work in, the people business, you've got to recognize that what you're seeing right now places a greater demand on your skill set. So don't sit around and worry that the skill that you have, that the vision that you have, that the mission that you have, that the purpose you believe exists for your life is not in great demand. It is. We need an army of people that are peace ambassadors in many ways. And so for those of you that might consider yourself a peace ambassador, I'm here to share a song with you that says, now, right now, is our time.
People think things go my way. Whatever I say, tell me what I want to hear. There's some who don't like me. They try to block me from getting to what I'm here to do.
You got to hold court each day. There's things that come my way. I use my pain to rise.
Standing on the mountain, I see. Forth is a valley, I'm free. The tide is on the rise. It's our time. Show the people dreams aren't just in your head.
Come on now, somebody.
It's our time.
Today is our time.
Yeah.
Listen.
Future inside, we'll create more.
Create more.
Gonna just come up and never fall. Never fall. Rise above it all. Show them we're strong. Show them we're strong.
When the heart is focused, it's hard to do wrong.
Gotta know the days that they truth will find a way. Looking at the finish line, knowing it's our time, but it's not rising the shade. Just believe, putting it all on the line.
Yeah.
It's our time. Show the people dreams aren't just in your head. Our time, our time. Let them know that it's our time.
I got carried away, y'all. I got carried away. I'm experiencing joy right now. And that is the topic here. And I think it's so powerful sometimes not to just tell you points, but to give you a model for what it looks like and what it feels like to experience joy right now. And so I'm going to end with this song, the title song. It's called My Sound. And here's what I recognize. All my life, I've been looking for somebody to help me to bring out my sound. I had met a lot of producers and engineers, and many of them were, some were excited about my music, some were not. Some told me I was too old. Some told me maybe I'm just a fan. And I didn't realize that the person who would be the best at helping me to bring out my sound was in my house. That person was my youngest son, Ethan. I've written over 300 songs, most of them mediocre, but every once in a while you'll write a song that inspires you and you're at the beginning of something that might inspire others. What I've learned is that when I've written my best song, not everybody's going to like every melody, not everybody's going to like every lyric, but it's my sound and everybody has a sound. And so I want to say to you as we close out that you've got a sound, and don't try to mimic somebody else's sound. Identify what your sound is and sing that to the highest mountain, because your sound is what you were built to do. And so I want you to listen to this song. I hope that it is as meaningful to you as it has been to me. The title of my project, My Sound, by Eric Ellis.
Looking for years, now I'm weary.
That's how I felt.
Trying to find my sound. Listening to others, I thought I can't make it. Maybe I'm no singer,
just a fan.
Yeah. Imitating others don't really work for me. If that I finally found was my sound.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Find yourself. Yeah. It's right there. Inside of you. Right there. Inside me all my life. Everybody.
Everybody's got a sound, yeah. Born in the world, we all are different. What I like, it's not what you like, but that's alright. There are days I feel stuck in a hole. Looking outside, gifts in my soul.
Imitating others. That don't really work for me.
See the blessing finally found.
Was my
sound. It was my sound. That was there for me.
That's what's there for you, your sound. Don't try to do what others do. Don't try to be like anybody else. Be you. Experience joy right now being you.
Inside all of my life.
Yeah.
I found my sound.
This is what my grandma told me. She told me about myself. She said I wouldn't be satisfied. That's right. Son, find your son. That's what I'm saying to you, community. I love music. I do.
Like fingerprints I have. That was made for me, just for me.
Listen to this part.
So many choices. What in the world will I be? When I dream about the future, there's possibilities.
There are endless possibilities for your son. Everything I need.
True that I one no will I replace for myself.
Community, I want to thank you for making this another great week together. And I want to encourage you as you go throughout the week to do your thing, to experience joy every moment. Don't allow any of this foolishness that's happening around us right now to steal your joy. And from Eric Ellis, Tommie Lewis, we're hoping you're going to have a great week and join us next week for another installment of Diversity Conversations. Take care. Love somebody. Experience joy right now.